Hi and welcome to Red Swede Outdoors. It's time for this year's first hike out in the woods, so tag along and see how I'm doing. Hi there and welcome to the channel. It's Saturday, the 19th of March, and it's finally been time to do an overnighter. So this year's first solo hike is up, and we're quite a bit in the afternoon now, and I have approximately 2 hours before sunset, but the sun is going to set behind a mountain, and it's a forest in between, so we'll see about how long time I really have. So I will pitch a tarp, and today I thought I was going to try out the plow, if ground conditions allow it, and then we see. So let's get going. Well, I guess it's not the most elegant pitching of a tarp ever, but considering all the rocks in the way, I think I'm pretty pleased with the result so far. And tonight is going to be fair weather, just around 0 degrees, very calm winds, and no downpour whatsoever. So I think that this will do nicely. Well, I think it's time to get organized, and the warmth that I got from walking here, it's starting to disappear. So I think I'm going to put something a bit warmer on top, and then it's time to bring out the Bushbox and thinking about food. The plan today is to use the spirit burner. I feel a bit, maybe the word is lazy, so I won't be running around looking for firewood today. So today it's a spirit burner, but that's okay. Let's make some food preparation. I didn't bring a cutting board today. I thought it would be okay with just a plate. So let's see if I'm right. So I think it's time to light the fire. There we go. That hit the spot. And some spices. Would be nice. And some cabanossi sausages. So, while I eat the coffee should be boiling. Like that. And to accompany this food, I brought myself a hazy IPA. And this one has been worth waiting for. I think it was worth the extra weight in the backpack. Yeah, definitely worth waiting for. Well, once again, coffee o'clock. As you probably can see behind me, we are soon having last light. So, but I'm done with everything I have to do. Dinner is done, my camp is up, and I brought this tent light and a good book. So when the sun is setting, I'm gonna snug myself in under the tarp and sit with a good book for a while. And I think I'm gonna turn in pretty early because I was so tired this morning. I actually was hesitating if I should go out this weekend and maybe stay home and sleep in instead, but now I'm glad that I went out because it's almost dead silent. I have a bunch of guys over there, but they're not too noisy. I can hear them banging away with the axe now and again, and some happy laughters, and that's okay. So far it doesn't seem that like they brought the jukebox, and I'm thankful for that. And if push comes to shove, I got my earplugs, so even if they have a discotheque over there tonight, I probably will sleep pretty good anyway. But it's nice to enjoy the silence. The sun is setting and I have a good book. What can possibly make that better? Well, that should be an overnight nightcap. Campfire nightcap. I did this before and I will do it again. So, the water is boiled. Today I'm going to have a large one. So, I go with a boy, but some kind of milk chocolate. Of your choice. I think if you're from Sweden, you probably will go with this one. But if you're from abroad, you have other kinds to go for. But the next ingredient is actually from Canada, and you can't see what it is from here, but it's a generous splash of Fireball. And like that. And this will make you warm, make you feel pleasant, and will give you a good night's sleep. I tried it before and I will probably do it again. So let's see if I can show it for you. Yes, there you have it. Oh, well, good morning, young folks. The sun is climbing and it's warming, and that's really nice because it's actually been rather cold tonight. I've been waking up several times, needing to have a bio breaks, and when you come back you are cold and shivering, and it takes a good while to get back to sleep. So I slept in this morning because I felt I earned it. And as it turned out, the ground on the spot where I picked out actually had a slope. So I was constantly sliding out of the plow and to the side. So it's been kind of a gymnastic session rather than a good night's sleep. But no matter, still been a rather good night. The stars were out, the moon was almost full, and really have made another landscape. But at that time I was so cold that was no way I was going to leave my sleeping bag to get out and film. So that's a project for another time, summertime. But now I think I'm going to start up some coffee and some pancakes, because I think that they will do me good. Yes, the last pancake. This could possibly be my favorite breakfast in the woods. But to make it even better, let's bring on the bacon. Just a bit more water to the coffee. And now, to make it perfect, maple syrup. A generous drizzle. Well, folks, that means breakfast is served. I said it before, and I will say it again. It doesn't get much better than this. And it's true every time. Breakfast is done. Must confess, I didn't manage all the pancakes. It was a bit hefty even for me. So I shared my breakfast with the geese that swim around here in the lake. They weren't too impressed by my cooking, but on the other hand, it didn't protest, so it didn't go to waste anyway. I thought we would take a look at my setup for tonight and give my 2 cents about that. But first I see I have to change the battery. Be back in a sec. Well, that's some noisy neighbors. But I hope that's their way to say thank you for the food. Well, this is my tarp setup for tonight, and it's most commonly known as the plow. As you pick an anchor point in a tree, I put it as high as I could possibly reach without a ladder. And that's basically what's recommended. And then you go on the diagonal to an anchoring point down there, and then you stretch out the sides like this. I had to make an adjustment on the other side because there was a large boulder right where I wanted to pitch my tarp. So I had to go in one anchor point, but it left me with the advantage of having a place to put my things during the night. That's protected. Right now it's rather dry. It hasn't been raining for a couple of weeks, really, and that's quite surprising in Gothenburg. But so when you can see this almost a square, rectangular shape where I had my sleeping pad and where I was lying. So I had plenty of space both for myself and for my pack. So this is a good anchoring point. I think this is a good tarp setup. I think I will use it more times. It's the backside, you can say, if you look at it. You need quite a lot of space to put this up. A flat surface, because you use very much of the tarp. I've done the A-frame and the lean-to before, and they take up less space. They have a smaller footprint. But the clear advantage is, since you only need one fixed anchor point, you can turn it basically in any direction from your tree. And if I could choose freely tonight, I would have put it where the trees and stumps back there is, because then I would get first light, and so the morning sun can warm you up. But alas, that wasn't a possibility, but this was good enough anyway. It's against the predominant wind direction, so I have shelter from the wind, and it was the smoothest surface I can find with this setup, and I'm quite pleased with it. I probably would use it more times. It's always nice to experiment with new ways. And another obvious advantage with this one, when you go up, you can rise up to your full length almost immediately when going out. So none of that crawling out from your shelter. And if the rain isn't too heavy, I think you have very good protection here. And I thought I would share a pro tip for all of you that doesn't already do that. As you can see, there is my sleeping bag hanging like a flag from a tree. If at all possible, if there's not raining, I always hang my sleeping bag from something to dry, because you always build up condensation during the night, and you want to air that out as quickly as possible, definitely before you pack it down. So if at all possible, always hang your sleeping bag to dry, especially if you're doing several overnighters in a row, because if you open up a damp sleeping bag and crawl down in that the next night, it will be cold. And if you're even the smallest bit sensitive, it get kind of an unpleasant smell after a while. So airing out your backpack, sleeping bag, is always a good idea. And now we've been hanging here for, I guess, 1 hour at least, so I think it's safe to pack down now. Well, I think it's time to break camp. I'm in no way in a hurry, but I'll take down my tarp and pack away most things, so I'm ready to leave when I'm done here. Yeah, I'm all packed up, save for the camera gear, and I think I can with a clean conscience say that I left no trace. I even sweeped up the pine needles so you can't see where I kept my sleeping pad. The fireplace is like I found it. There's some sticks lying around here. People before me have gathered, and this old grill rack has been here for at least 3 years, I think. Possibly it's used every now and then, but not for me. I bring my own when I'm about to grill. So it's time for me to pack up the camera and return to the everyday life. But it's been a good overnight, especially now when the sun is out and it's warming me really good, and all the cold shivers during the night, they are forgotten. I'm really glad I went out. But thank you for watching, and if you like it, give me that thumbs up and drop those comments. You know I like them very much, and I answer them as best I can. And I hope to catch you soon again on another small outdoor adventure. But until then, cheers.